that it's important for us to show support for Taiwan. I also think that none of us has ever said we're for independence when it comes to Taiwan. That's up to Taiwan to decide.
Hitting back at Nancy Pelosi, China firmly opposed to the planned visit to Taiwan. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson said that the Chinese military will never sit idle and will take serious measures to thwart any attempts by external forces to interfere and separate Taiwan. In the midst of tension, soldiers participated in live-fired military drills amid escalating tension.
This week, watch Checkmate to know why India is buying the latest arms and ammunitions. Why is India getting the latest defense technology from the world? Why is India arming itself at such a rapid rate? But I will tell you what I believe. I believe India has global ambitions. I believe India wants to be a global leader. When India says that it wants to become a Vishwaguru, it is not just talking about intellectual pursuit. It's not just talking about soft power. India is also talking about hard power.
Debating tonight at 9 p.m. Debating tonight at 10 p.m.
This time very clearly, no answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the camera? Once again trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya. Persistently been asking you only one question. Mallya, why did you escape in 2015?
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for the debate.
The Debate at 9, presented by Amity University, powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply and JK Tires.
Good evening, welcome friends. Countdown is on for the return of Arnab Goswami. Till then, it's again me and Aishwarya.
Well, absolutely. And we have a big, cracking lineup today. On debate number 1, Union Minister Smriti Irani took on the Vadra Congress in the court today. The interim order is out. Question is, how will Vadra Congress shoot and scoot now? That's debate number 1, viewers.
The nation is demanding justice for Praveen, but there is no outrage by the pseudos. Is it secular to remain silent? That's debate number 2.
And on debate number 3 today, the drama in the Bengal mega cash scam just doesn't end. But who is the big fish holding the money? That's the final debate today, debate number 3. But let's begin with the headlines first. Massive victory for Smriti and setback for Vadra Congress as court summons Pawan Khera and Jairam Ramesh demands removal of defamatory content.
What directions are absolute? Congress shoot and scoot policy cannot work now. Will Sonia show accountability?
And in what seems like sparring attitude towards the PFI and the SDPI, Congress pins the blame of hate killing on some internal conflict, giving it an inside job spin.
Also, Congress maintains pin drop silence on hate killings but gives the benefit of doubt to the PFI and SDPI.
And Arpita Mukherjee's dramatic journey from home to hospital, viewers seen falling over backseat of a car and wailing, claims to be unwell.
That stunning twist in Bengal cash scam case. Arpita's 4 luxury cars stashed with cash go missing.
And viewers, let's debate. But what exactly is the opposition's strategy? Because we say day in and day out, it's the same headlines, it's the same news break. That Parliament session, Lok Sabha postponed till 2 p.m. Lok Sabha adjourned till 4 p.m. Raj Sabha adjourned, and now both the houses adjourned till Monday morning. What is the opposition looking for, viewers? What is that the Congress and few others in the opposition tend to apply? By keeping this constant ruckus inside the parliament, what do they want to achieve? What in the world can this strategy be? What can they achieve with this strategy? That disruption and not discussion. It's just amazing. It's amazing because at the end of the day, they are being sent by the people to raise people's voice. But in a brazen attempt to oppose Modi and Amit Shah in the parliament, they will do anything. When the minister, viewers, that's the point, Abhishek, because when the minister, Prahlad Joshi, on the floor of Lok Sabha, and several leaders, Abhishek, outside say that the government is ready to discuss on you raise the issue and the government is ready. And the opposition on record say that that's what they want, then what's the problem, Abhishek?
Absolutely, Aishwarya. And the fact of the matter is that, ladies and gentlemen, it is a big blow to Pawan Khera, in fact, and Jairam Ramesh and the Vadra Congress at large. Because today, the Delhi High Court took note of the slanderous allegations against Union Minister Smriti Irani and her daughter. The High Court found prima facie credence in the defamation suit filed by the Union Minister. The High Court has given a straightforward directive, and the messaging is clear. The attempt to shoot off allegations and then scoot when accountability is sought will just not work. The Vadra Congress has to rethink its entire modus operandi. Here is the story, and then we debate.
It started with a 13-minute, 10-second press briefing by Pawan Khera, Jairam Ramesh and Netta D'Souza of the Congress party. And then the Congress said, Smriti Irani Chuppi Todo on their Twitter handle just on the 23rd of July. The Indian Youth Congress has put out 24 tweets on the illegal bar scam, and the entire party amplified the claims. Union Minister Smriti Irani hit back with a blistering response.
The allegation that my daughter runs an illegal bar is malicious with the intent not only to assassinate her character but also to politically malign me. It is done at the directions, as was obviously stated by Pawan Khera, of the Congress leadership, namely the Gandhi family, because I had the audacity to hold a press conference and question Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi for the 5,000 crore loot of the Indian Treasury.
She made it clear she will take the legal route.
The gentleman who sat there giggled as they assassinated my daughter's character. I will see you in the court of law and in the court of people.
And now the Delhi court order is in.
Libelous, slanderous allegations were made against her regarding some bar in Goa and linking her name and in fact her family's name, including her young daughter, who's only a student, and morphing photographs, placing them in a press conference, retweeting them, reposting them in various platforms, and with this entire, as if there was some scandal issue involved in the entire matter, and casting aspersions. This is obviously a counterblast to possibly the National Herald case.
Specifically when it involves someone's reputation, when it involves a grave prejudice being caused to their goodwill, and that is exactly what they with this press conference tried to do, is what the court has said, and therefore in an interim injunction, the single bench passes an order today of the Delhi High Court saying, first, summons have been issued to them. Secondly, saying that these Congress leaders, Pawan Khera, Jairam Ramesh and D'Souza, will have to remove whatever is there on the social media platforms, and a next date of 18th August has been given.
तो उन्होंने इस बात को स्पष्ट किया है, उन्होंने उसका जवाब अपने ट्वीट में दिया है और ये कहा है कि हम जो भी नोटिस हमको मिली है हाई कोर्ट से उसका हम लोग औपचारिक उत्तर जल्द से जल्द देंगे.
It's a pattern for the Congress to shoot and scoot. Remember when the top court pulled up Rahul Gandhi for saying this?
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियर कर दिया है कि चौकीदार जी ने चोरी करवाई.
The order from the court is a message to the Congress party that the shoot and scoot approach will not work anymore. Let's debate.
Well, yes, let's debate, and I have the national spokesperson of the BJP, Sanju Verma. I have chief editor of Goa Chronicle, Xavier Rodriguez, live from Goa. Kartik Etana, political commentator and lawyer from Miami. That's what I've got. Are you in Miami, Kartik Etana, today? And Surendra Chauhan from Delhi. George Kurian, political strategist from Pune. Abhishek Tausif Ahmed Khan, advocate and political analyst, joining in live from Kolkata. And Ravi Srivastava, live from Bangalore. So I have representation from across the India. And if I've got it right, even from overseas. But my issue is this, Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, whatever Smriti Irani came out and said, the Congress is not officially saying, but through murmurs, the people who supposedly support the Congress saying that they are not going to remove any tweet from the social networking site. Smriti Irani was very clear from the point go that you don't have the facts with you, don't do this. But they still went ahead.
Even the court has said that.
You know, Aishwarya, I want to make a couple of things very clear. I mean, all of us are very well aware of the fact that this constant attack at Smriti Irani, and a very coordinated one at that, by the opposition, particularly the Congress, is A, because she had the audacity to take on the, scion of the Congress, Rahul Gandhi, and B, she actually defeated him with a hefty margin, and C, she, a couple of weeks back, held a press conference where very pointed questions were asked of the Gandhis in the National Herald scam, where the Gandhis reportedly have looted the exchequer to the tune of more than 5,000 crores. So anybody with an iota of common sense knows that this entire, bunch of allegations have more to do with trying to undermine Smriti Irani's political stature, trying to defame her politically, rather than, a bar or a restaurant in Goa, which apparently was issued an illegal license and her daughter was involved.
No, is that right, Tausif?
There was no...
Okay.
Quickly,
right.
Quickly,
Sanju.
let me finish in 10
Sanju, you have made your points, but, I'll pick up from where Aishwarya left. He said, and it's reported that the Congress party has refused for now, to take down its tweets and all the mention of those allegations on various social media platforms. I think the court was very clear that either the Congress party does it or those platforms have to do it. Tausif, please tell us, did the Congress party really jump the gun in its anxiety to corner Smriti Irani a day after Sonia Gandhi was questioned by the ED?
No, you see, this entire controversy revolving around Smriti Irani's daughter running a illegal bar and restaurant has started after Goa Excise Department issued a notice to the bar for obtaining bar license on forged document. This is the inception of this controversy.
No, this is the
Smriti
charge
Irani
which is
denied
contested.
that her
Tausif, I
daughter
have
is
to
a
stop this. This is the
school-going
charge which is
child and she does not
contested.
run.
The court has said that this has to
Yes,
be
it
removed.
is
So you
contested.
can't go into the detail
But
of it.
the
And for the
famous
facts,
food
let's go
blogger-
to... No. I'll come to you. We'll open the debate.
No,
For the facts to begin with, let's go to Sergio Rodriguez. He's there in Goa. He's there on the ground. He can enlighten us and all the panelists as to what are the facts on the ground. Sergio, please tell us. Please tell us what are the facts on the ground so that we are not repeating those allegations which the court has now barred from being on social media and various other platforms. So let's get the facts straight
famous
first.
food blogger. Famous food blogger Kunal Vijayakar is interviewing Smriti Irani's daughter in the cafe itself.
Can you ask the gentleman to keep quiet?
As a young entrepreneur.
If a man does not have facts, it's better to shut your mouth.
Tausif, let Savio give the facts. We'll come back to the debate. Tausif, let Savio give the facts.
The famous food
who's
blogger
factless at this point of time to keep his mouth quiet.
All right, we will come to the famous food blogger later.
We'll
come to the famous food blogger later. Let's get the facts first. Savio, tell us the facts. Tell us the facts.
The facts of the case.
Savio, go ahead.
Facts number one.
You should be very careful in what he says.
Facts number one. That the Goa State Excise Department issued the notice to the owner of the restaurant and bar. The owner is a gentleman who is no longer alive. The restaurant and bar is now run by his son, owned by his son. It moves from father to son. That's exactly what happened. Now, Smriti Irani's daughter, as per the statement of Smriti Irani herself, does not own or run that restaurant. To the best of my knowledge, she was an intern chef at that particular restaurant and is back to her studies wherever she is abroad. That's the fact of the case. Now the court in its wisdom has asked the Congress leaders to delete their social media posts. There would be a reason why the court has said it. Now if the Congress, like the gentleman ahead before me,
you're right.
Like the Congress,
Savio, you're right. Ravi, hold on.
Can I complete?
All of you spoke. I am coming to everyone. Abhishek is coming to everyone. But you listen to this. Savio, please complete. Savio, please complete. But just give me 30 seconds and then I'm coming to you. Listen. No one is going. Do you think Congress party? Do you think, Savio, that Congress, listen, Ravi Srivastava, that's your problem. You come on air and then you start speaking, sir. You are an elderly individual. Please give me 30 seconds. Out of respect, I'm saying. Can you look at the optics of it?
Okay.
I'm just saying. For the first point, Congress does not. I feel Congress is not looking at it legally. Congress is biased. You know why? Because it is Smriti Irani. They were looking for anything. I'll tell you. This is what I feel, Abhishek, might have really happened.
Yes,
you know, someone showed some food blogging, what this guy was just mentioning. I'm sorry, Tausif Ahmed Khan was just mentioning, because he himself is an advocate. So I'll tell you, some food blogging video must have been shown. Kartikeya Tana, I'm coming to you. Abhishek, but what might have happened? I'm saying some video, some link must have been shown. The Congress party must have jumped out of joy. Something against Smriti. Oh, she is the one who defeated Rahul in Amethi.
Exactly.
And Rahul Gandhi at its best.
Let's go after her.
Rahul Gandhi at its best, Ravi Srivastava, must be overseas and must have thought, yes,
exactly.
I am giving you the supreme order. Go against Smriti Irani. Facts to check kar lete and basic knowledge. You could have just checked the facts. Who's the owner, who's the not? Are you telling me, Tausif Ahmed Khan, that the complete basis of Congress's charge against Smriti Irani's 18-year-old daughter is a food blogging video? Is that what this individual who himself is a senior advocate, Tausif Ahmed Khan, just said? That's the basis. That is what Congress has come down to. Ravi Srivastava, tell me this now. Tausif, I'll come to you. Hold on, you've spoken. Ravi, is that the basis of your counter as well? Please clarify. Please clarify.
I am asking a single question. Why Smriti Irani on record does not say that either she or family has got any connection with that silly soul restaurant and the bar? That's all. One single line.
She has said that the 18-year-old daughter does not own. She has said that the 18-year-old daughter does not own. She has said that the 18-year-old daughter does not own it. She has said it outrightly in that press conference. Ravi Srivastava, you should have listened. Apart from Aam Aadmi Party press conferences, you should listen to other press conferences also. Ravi Srivastava, that's my problem. Karthik Etana, live from Miami. Karthik,
by the way, it's Friday evening here and you are in Miami and still you are on debate. Shows how committed you are to the causes of India.
I'm actually in Ahmedabad right now.
But since you have written a book on Smriti Irani as well, Karthike, please tell us, is this anxiety of the Congress party at someone who's sort of, shown the mirror to the Gandhis? She has defeated Rahul Gandhi in Amethi, and in fact, just a couple of days before that press conference by the Congress party, Smriti challenged that she would be taking on Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad as well.
Yes, absolutely. See, you've hit the nail on the head. Here's the problem. India deserves a good opposition. India deserves. Allow me 2 minutes, please.
Tausif, hold on.
Allow me 2 minutes, please. Tausif, have the respect. Have the respect.
Tausif, hold on.
Your turn will come.
Tausif, one by one. Tausif, one by one. Please, Tausif, you know the rules of the game. Thank you.
Go ahead. You see, India deserves a good opposition. We all know that. We are a democracy. India deserves a good opposition. And Congress is the only pan-Indian opposition right now. The problem is everyone in the Congress is beholden to the Gandhi family, and if I dare so, slavishly so. So anyone who dares to attack the Gandhi family in any way, which Smriti Irani did in 2014 and 19. In 2014, she failed. In 2019, she succeeded. And then she is leading the vocal charge on the behalf of the BJP against the Gandhi family. So obviously she's a target. But what the Congress really stooped down to, that was the lowest point in the political discourse of India's history, is to attack her 18-year-old daughter without doing any due diligence whatsoever. There are many lawyers in Congress who can at least do a basic fact check, a basic due diligence. That by dekho to sahi,
Karthike, they have a battery of lawyers.
Absolutely.
But as far as I can understand, the basis was a food blogging video. That is what Congress has come down to, Karthike. Not even a food blogging video.
Let me come to that. Allow me 30 seconds. Let me come to that. See, for example, let's say I work at Reliance. I used to work at Reliance. I suggested to them an idea. I was a consultant to them. So I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own consulting firm. I suggested an idea to them and I was working there as well. I'm interviewed because for one of their projects, I'm interviewed. The interviewer refers to this as your company, my company. And I said, yes, of course, I'm working here. I'm consulting. I'm offering consulting services for them. I'm working here. Now I no longer work here. I'm pursuing studies abroad. I don't become Mukesh Ambani. Like, how brainless are people in Congress that they go by a video blog?
Oh, wouldn't you want that? Oh, wouldn't you want that?
Oh, of course.
Wouldn't you want that, Karthike?
Well, Karthike, senior advocate, Karthike, I have to interview. You see, just to take the debate forward, senior counsel Neeraj Kishan Kaul, in fact, argued on behalf of the union minister. And, he, based on his arguments, the court came to a conclusion that prima facie, these charges, these allegations by the Congress party and those leaders who were present in the press conference are found to be slanderous, and that's why they should be removed.
Absolutely.
I mean, the point that Aishwarya is making, that purely and purely based on a video blog, which Tausif is mentioning, did the Congress party really jump the gun is the argument. Anxiety at Smriti Irani taking on the Gandhis. The fact that Sonia Gandhi is questioned a day before, and perhaps the Congress wanted to deflect attention, media attention from Sonia Gandhi's questioning, they targeted Smriti.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is exactly what their modus operandi is. See,
can I respond, please?
After Tausif. Tausif and Sanju. Suren Chauhan after this. George Korean coming to you.
Absolutely.
Tausif.
It is Aishwarya. Aishwarya, it is absolutely idiotic to say that the charge against Smriti Irani is made only on the basis of food blogger video. Yes, it is one of the video which surfaced after the controversy started. The charge started after the excise department sent the notice. Also, the restaurant is registered in the name of Rahul Vora, who is a director in another company.
You give him 30 seconds.
In which
Give him 30
Smriti Irani's husband Zubin Irani and her son Zohar Irani are also directors. Now there are connections, there are materials. Yes, all of these materials will be brought before the court when the Congress camp goes to the court and makes their submission as they have been asked in the notice.
Let the court decide.
To provide, and they will go with the proof before the court.
Let the court decide.
Right now court has only passed an interim order. Court has passed only an interim direction. Court has not decided the matter on merit. The issue has just begun. This issue has just begun. This issue has not reached to its conclusion. It has just started. And the court has only passed an interim measure. Court has not decided.
And that's why an ex parte interim order.
Court has not decided
I think senior lawyer Neeraj Kishan Kaul could convince the court that these allegations have to be removed from all media platforms because they achieve the objective of defaming his client, Union Minister.
Can be challenged.
Yeah, Sanju, carry on, please.
It can be challenged and it's an interim order.
Sanju's countering you, hold on. Tausif, hold on, Sanju's countering you. Yeah.
Please, I did not interrupt Tausif. Thank you, Tausif.
It's not a
Aishwarya, I think you nailed it.
Patience. Thank you. Yeah, carry on, ma'am.
Aishwarya, please, I have been very patient. Let me come in now. I think, Aishwarya, you actually nailed it very well. I'm amazed, political ideologies aside, political differences aside, in this age of 24/7 social media, political bickerings aside, how can you target an 18-year-old child? I will just say one very important thing. The most important thing is this, that Rahul Gandhi and his party is a habitual offender. In 2018, he first indulged in false bravado. बाद में हाथ जोड़कर माफी मांगी थी when he had alleged that RSS is responsible for what happened to Mahatma Gandhi in terms of his assassination. Then came the Rafale deal and he went around town saying चौकीदार चोर है. Supreme Court के आगे जाकर हाथ जोड़कर माफी मांगी when Supreme Court said that there was no commercial interest that was compromised during the consummation of the deal. He so audaciously brazen and shameless. Even after apologizing to the Supreme Court, he again went around saying चौकीदार चोर है. बाद में मीनाक्षी लेखी had to file a contempt of court case against him. उसके बाद राहुल गांधी के मुंह से एक शब्द नहीं निकला. So this is a habitual offender who's trying to reclaim capital. He is politically, electorally ranked.
Surendra Chauhan, a senior advocate and political analyst. No, Sanju, I get your point. Sanju Verma ji, I get your point. Please. Sanju Verma, I get your point. Surendra Chauhan, would you want to enlighten us, sir? What's your point of view on this? Surendra Chauhan?
Well, at present, it's an ex-party order. These orders can be subject to modification, varied, and can also be set aside.
Of course.
There is a provision under Civil Procedure Code, Order 39, Rule 4. So, the other opposite party has a choice to move the application if they are strong enough. Whatever the allegations, whatever the things are there, if they have not been being heard. It is only the prima facie view the court has taken. So why so much of hue and cry? And why this? The madam is saying.
But prima facie, in the prima facie observation, Suren Chauhan, let me take this to George Kurian. In fact, George Kurian, the court says, and I'm just quoting.
Yes.
Perusing the documents regarding the restaurant in question, the court said there was no license ever issued to Irani, whichever Irani. No Irani is having any license named after them insofar as that particular restaurant is concerned. Number one. Number two, the court has clearly said that those allegations prima facie seem to be slanderous and bogus allegations. The court has already said that those allegations seem to be bogus. On top of it, these are court observations. On top of it, the Congress party in its briefing, George, George, used a morphed picture of Smriti Irani with her daughter from at least 3 years ago when the daughter was a minor. You think this is ethical conduct for a political party? George Korean?
Absolutely not.
A very good evening to all your viewers. Aishwarya, let me begin by saying this is not shoot and scoot, and all the allegations that has been labeled. Congress party, one has to understand that Jairam Ramesh ji or Pawan Khera ji are seasoned politicians. Jairam Ramesh ji has been minister, environment minister. He knows all the NGT norms and things like that and the violations that has happened. So the Congress party will not go without any baseless facts that they have with them. The press conference
that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
George Korean.
It is too early.
Kartikeya Tanna is amused. Sanju Verma wants to come in. Xavier Rodriguez wants to counter you on that very starting first sentence of yours. But Mr. Korean, I would just want to enlighten you, sir. You yourself are a very senior individual. I'm just saying this, Mr. Korean. You may keep these very senior Congress leaders in a more higher regard, but just let me tell you, sir, they have not thought it out. If they would have thought this whole thing out, then on facts, they would not have been wrong. You are right. You are talking about former cabinet central ministers, Abhishek. We are talking about former central ministers, Mr. Korean.
And I think George,
but the mistake they have done in only one attempt, Abhishek, because they wanted to pin Smriti down, in which once again they failed.
And George conceded at the very beginning, saying that the conduct of the Congress was not right.
Kartikeya wants to comment. Kartikeya.
See, just 20 seconds. You know, their pedigree, their legacy and all of that when it comes to allegations, you know, on policy issues. The problem is the moment it comes to defending the Gandhis, they all lose their collective intelligence. It reduces to the level, I'm sorry to say, of Rahul Gandhi. And that's the problem. They are beholden to the Gandhi family, and that is where they are being an opposition to ridicule and to mock. This is not the opposition that India deserves. Honestly, there are some issues that are against the government, for sure they should be brought up, but by this opposition, when they raise attacks like this without any due diligence whatsoever, any research whatsoever, who is going to believe this political party in the future?
Ravi is countering.
Is this even a democracy?
By any standard, this is not
Ravi Srivastava, look at what you are defending. Ravi Srivastava, look at what you are defending. You know, you are forget about the press conference, the charges made by the Congress leaders in the press conference against Smriti Irani and her daughter, because those would be now challenged. They are challenged in the courts. Court proceedings are on. Look at what you are defending. Digvijay Singh, senior leader, who by the way was in a scuffle with a constable today in Bhopal, has tweeted, "Let Smriti Irani's daughter run bar. What problem do we have? In this country, Modi and BJP have applied GST on every item, but GST is not applied on alcohol, meat and fish." I think this is again playing with facts. GST is applied on meat and fish in the 47th General Council of the GST that took place just last month, and Congress party protested. Now Digvijay Singh is saying it is not applied. Also on alcohol, remember, listen, let me complete. GST on alcohol is not applied because the state governments, including Congress governments, don't want it to be applied. Digvijay Singh is playing with facts, Congress leaders playing with facts, Rahul Gandhi playing with facts. You continue to play with facts to later apologize. This is what you are defending, Ravi Srivastava.
And Digvijay Singh is also a former minister, by the way.
Restaurant is serving the beef, which is well against the ideology of the BJP altogether.
Ravi Srivastava, stay on facts. Digvijay Singh is saying there is no GST. There is GST.
When the case proceeds further,
Ravi Srivastava, are you defending playing around with facts? Sanju Verma, please take on it. Sanju Verma and Ravi Srivastava.
To conclusion.
Sanju Verma, Ravi Srivastava is defending blatant playing around with facts.
And you are serving the beef there. What kind of ideology is this? What kind of BJP is this?
Who's serving?
Have you given up all your ideology?
Sanju Verma, see the playing around with facts.
You don't debate. I don't mind it. What kind of a restaurant is that? Why the Smriti Irani is associating with the restaurant at all? She should say, I have no connection with the restaurant. I don't know these people. My daughter does not work there. Whatever it is.
Sanju, no one is giving anyone a free run. Let everyone speak for 30 seconds. Okay, Ravi Srivastava. Now let Sanju Verma speak. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. Don't let that happen. No, Savio Rodriguez, Savio wants to come in. Savio wants to come in. I know. Savio, after Sanju Verma, I am coming to you, sir. Please give me 45 seconds. Sanju, please. Yes, carry on. Sanju and Tausif. 1 versus 1. Thank you. Yeah. Sanju first. Sanju first.
Tausif made a very interesting comment that the owner of Silly Souls is a gentleman called Rahul Vora. Now, anybody with a basic idea of India's Companies Act and the way responsibility is nailed on directors, assuming hypothetically Smriti Irani's son and husband are directors, but they are not owners. In terms of a criminal liability, hypothetically assuming there is one, it stops at the doorstep of Rahul Vora. And nowhere does the excise commissioner show cause notice mention either Smriti Irani or her daughter. So in what manner, what scheme of things did the Congress actually brainlessly start maligning Smriti and her daughter? That is beyond my understanding. And I also want to say one more thing. Section 499 of Congress ka purana nata hai. If there is one man who has apologized more number of times than any other politician in India's political landscape, Arvind Kejriwal ko takkar yadi kisi ne diya hai apology मांगने में, तो वो राहुल गांधी है. Arvind Kejriwal first made false allegations.
Savio wants to come in. Savio Rodriguez. Savio first. Savio. Yeah. We've seen several visuals of these Congress leaders going to that club, to that restaurant, taking the tape out. All the dramatics have played out. But what about the facts? Okay, Mr. Korean, hold on. Yeah, Savio first and then.
The beef there.
Savio.
See, the most important thing, Aishwarya, is the ownership of that particular restaurant.
I think in the press conference, remember, I have to correct this. In the press conference, the issue was license. The issue was license. The issue was ownership by one of the Iranis. I think you are moving the goalpost. We are not debating beef in this edition of the debate. Please.
Yes, Savio, carry on.
Savio, carry on.
What we are looking at clearly is the license, the state excise department's show cause notice to the owner of that bar and restaurant. That is where this entire thing started. Of course, the Congress in its exuberance, as it always does, that Rahul Gandhi did at Rafale, and the lies he told when Mr. Manoj Parrikar was not well. So we know the nature of the Congress. They are liars of the highest order. So the respect that you might want to have for Jairam Ramesh goes down the drain when he continues to lie on various issues. Look at the statement of Adhir Chaudhary with regards to the President Draupadi Murmu. Is this the kind of opposition that India needs? It's a pathetic opposition. It's an opposition that is looking like clowns. Why can't you get serious on issues pertaining to the country?
Listen, we need a very good opposition. We need a strong opposition. But, we don't need an opposition which falls flat in the first argument in the court. Now the charges made by opposition falling flat in the first hearing in the court. Kartike, this issue of moving goalposts. The press conference, the original press conference of the Congress party was about license. Savio, hold on. Kartike, I want Kartike on this. Kartike, the issue of moving the goalposts. The first press conference of the Congress party was about license in the name of Iranis. That issue got sorted with the facts coming out. And then they say, Digvijay Singh says GST is not applied by the Modi government on alcohol, perhaps because that's some kind of assistance to a restaurant owned by Iranis, according to the Congress party, which it is not. Now, we have Ravi Srivastava saying beef is being served in the restaurant. Yes. Are we debating beef on this subject, Kartike?
Are we debating that Draupadi Murmu here? Are we debating Draupadi Murmu here?
No. We were not debating Draupadi Murmu. No. There was the point. There was a point.
What your panelists
There was a point about the.
See, you have already apologized, Ravi Srivastava. Congress party has apologized on Draupadi Murmu. Hold on.
Are we
Congress party has already apologized on Draupadi Murmu. So don't defend on something where your own leaders have said sorry.
Sir, give me 30 seconds. Sir, give me 30 seconds. Sir, give me 30 seconds. See, I know you used a soccer analogy, but let me use a cricket analogy. What the Congress did from its first press conference was bowl a juicy full toss on a no ball. Now, with other things that it's trying to bring up, it is trying to shift the crease. Can ye crease nahi hai, wo crease hai. It was on a no ball. It was so they're just trying to change goalposts one after the other because they are getting caught in their own. I'm sorry to use this word on national television, but on their own ridiculousness. They have no facts whatsoever. There can be thousands things
I'm
they can
really surprised, Kartikeyan. I'm really surprised, Kartikeyan. This is the same liberal set lobby. This is the same liberal set lobby who in a different debate would say, Ravi Srivastava, that what's problem in eating beef? What's problem in eating beef?
And
Northeast India eats beef. That would be your argument, Ravi Srivastava.
Let me point this out. Ravi Srivastava, you might have a child, you might have a son or a daughter who might be interested in working at a restaurant. Sir, 15 seconds. 15 seconds, I want to ask you a question. 15 seconds, I want to ask you a question. You might have a son or a daughter interested in pursuing a culinary profession. He or she may want to be a chef. He or she is hired in Taco Bell. Taco Bell serves Mexican beef. Are you going to have a beef with your daughter about it or your son about it? What kind of ridiculousness is this? This is an 18-year-old who wants to pursue her life, wants to pursue her career.
George Korean, Tausif Ahmed Khan, Ravi Srivastava, Savio, Kartikeyan, Sanju Verma. If you guys want to discuss menu of a restaurant, I'll find a better. Listen. If you want to discuss menu of a restaurant, let's not waste prime time. This is Arnab Goswami's show. We'll discuss menu of a restaurant at that food video which Tausif was just referring to. Let's come to the
Goa,
point.
Beef is not bad.
Is Smriti Irani's 18-year-old daughter? Oh, Surendra Chauhan, please tell me this. You are a lawyer, Surendra Chauhan. Surendra Chauhan, can you please tell me with which facts, with which paper in their hands the former ministers attacked the 18-year-old daughter of Smriti Irani? Facts. You are a lawyer, sir. Talk on facts. Talk on papers, black and white. Surendra Chauhan.
Well, Aishwarya, now listen to me. Well, Aishwarya, firstly, nowhere Smriti Irani has denied that the blogger's video is a morphed one. One. Two, everybody is saying, and even the show, Sevi is also admitting that she was an intern. She was an intern in that restaurant. All right. So the linkage is there that she was an intern working in a restaurant.
Intern.
That time her age
you
is
are a
not
lawyer.
there. As
you
an
are a
intern.
lawyer. You
So,
understand these terminologies better than others.
Yes.
What does an intern mean? An intern and an owner. An intern and an owner. Surendra Chauhan, you understand? Listen, I really do not want to shout. I really do not want to shout. Savio, I am laughing. Sanju Verma is laughing.
Please don't talk like an
Surendra Chauhan, you are a lawyer. An intern and an owner. Is there a balance? Is there a balance? You tell me, George Korean, is there a balance? Can you equate intern and owner? Can you equate intern and owner? Mr. Korean, I ask you, can you equate intern and owner? Sir, please answer. One by one, guys, please. You know the drill, yeah.
The point is,
yes, Mr. Korean.
It's not about intern and owner here. It's a larger question here is Smriti Irani
That is
not
the
just
point.
a citizen. She
The 18-year-old daughter of the cabinet minister is not the owner. That's what she's saying. That is the point. That is the point.
And
that is the point. Why all of you are not understanding that? If someone is an owner, listen, Kartikeyan Tanna gave you an example. All of you can have the full panel on air, please, for a minute. Ravi Srivastava, you are so experienced. Mr. Korean, you are experienced. And Tausif, you please tell me, because you brought in this video thing. Kartikeyan Tanna gave you that analogy or that example. If someone works in some X company, tomorrow I shift over. When I say, yes, this is my company. But as much as Kartikeyan Tanna would want to be Mukesh Ambani, he cannot be. So that's the reality. You need to understand. An intern is an intern and an owner is an owner. That's the basic point, and I am aghast. Surendra Chauhan, you didn't understand this. You are a lawyer, sir. Karthike and Sanju Verma. Karthike first.
All right, now hold on.
Oh, sorry. Tausif and Sanju.
Smriti Irani's daughter was not introduced as an intern. She was introduced as an entrepreneur. Smriti Irani's daughter was introduced as an entrepreneur, not as an intern. So this is an afterthought. This is a spin that is being given, and it will be brought before the court, as the Congress leader has said. Also, Smriti Irani congratulated her daughter on her new venture.
What is on the papers?
So this also has to be considered by the court.
Let Sanju counter. What is on the paper, Tausif? Tausif, what is on the paper? I say you are giving that spin. Tausif, I say you are giving that spin. Tausif, I say you are giving that spin. It's your word versus her word. I'm saying what is on the paper. I'm saying what is on the paper, viewers. Viewers, I'm saying what is on the paper. What is on the paper?
Don't act
entrepreneur or intern.
Act like a dumb journalist.
That's it.
Play the video.
Tausif, don't try to tell me what I am. I'm asking you. What is on the paper? Intern or entrepreneur? Tausif, mind your words first. And secondly, I'm telling you this. Sanju Verma is countering you. Thank you very much. You want to believe that video? You do. I don't. Thank you. Let paper speak. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Sanju.
Play the video.
You can comment on me.
Sanju.
She's introduced as an entrepreneur.
Sanju, he's quiet. Carry on.
You don't need, Sanju, you don't need anyone to keep quiet. You go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I just one very important point. Who is the owner of Silly Souls? Is the owner Smriti Irani's son? Is the owner of Silly Souls Smriti Irani's husband? No. Is the owner of Silly Souls Smriti Irani's son? No. Is the owner of Silly Souls Smriti Irani's daughter? No. The owner with the majority shareholding is Rahul Vora. The Companies Act clearly says that in case there is any wrongdoing or criminal liability, it is the majority shareholder who is liable. It is not the director of the company or the intern who is liable. So in this case, assuming that there was some hanky-panky,
I have to make a substantive political
at the doorstep of Rahul Vora. Please go and educate yourself.
Ownership, but there is this political argument also. Sanju, hold on to your thoughts. Let me take this to Ravi Srivastava. Sanju, hold on to your thoughts. You have made your point so far as ownership and the internship question is concerned. Now, there is a more substantive political argument. Is the Congress party betraying anxiety? I'm going through a tweet. Sanju, hold on. I'm making a very important argument. Srinivas BV of the Congress party says that BJP disdains parliament. Srimati Sonia Gandhi was heckled earlier by ED and now by Smriti Irani. Yeah. Was Sonia Gandhi heckled by the ED? It's a questioning that is going on based on a probe which has been allowed by a court of law. For God's sake, exactly. Is this the language you would be using? Is it not betraying anxiety at Sonia Gandhi's questioning by the Enforcement Directorate? You are calling it heckling? Ravi Srivastava?
That reply has been given already to Smriti Irani. She had been told, don't talk to me. Very curtly she has been told, don't talk to me. Very simple. This is the reply.
That also showed a sense of entitlement, for God's sake, Ravi Srivastava. That also showed a sense of entitlement.
No, but why?
In the parliament, can't MPs engage, interact, have verbal altercations and then buy peace? Is it wrong if MPs from across political divide come and engage?
Oh, everybody knows what ED is doing.
The attitude.
The ED is only harassing people, torturing people, maligning their reputation. That's all.
How so why doesn't Sonia Gandhi file a case
Karthike, Ravi Srivastava is, going around not coming to the point. Karthike, even a more substantive point. He is refusing to answer. Why questioning by ED is called heckling by the Congress party, but more substantive
30
point.
seconds.
We have Rahul Gandhi ad nauseam mentioning Chaukidar Chor hai and then apologizing almost under threat of contempt of court of the topmost court of the country. We have had Rahul Gandhi apologizing to the RSS. We have had Rahul Gandhi backtracking on the charge that he made about a meeting between then Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Vijay Mallya. We have had Rahul Gandhi
CRPC.
Backtracking on the charge he made on Judge Loya case.
Crime under CRPC or
And
what?
we have had
He's
an apology by the
apologizing.
Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary just a couple of hours back on the Rashtrapati comment he made to the President of India.
That was incorrect.
Kartikeya, it is clearly a case of Congress party becoming a habitual offender in playing around with facts.
Deliberately blowing it out of proportion, and you are further trying to insult the President of India. You should not do it. He has sought the time of the President to apologize, and he has already.
Oh, I am only mentioning your leader has apologized. I have never mentioned that. I never made that comment.
Seconds.
I was not brazen about it. Ravi Srivastava.
He does not understand.
Okay, sir.
In any case, yes. Kartikeya, go ahead. Kartikeya, go ahead.
What's so wrong in it?
Sir, 30 seconds. You know, when you set a campfire and the fire
All
is
right,
almost
but
done.
I gave you a list of 8 other instances where none other than your Rahul Gandhi also has apologized.
You know, Abhishek, when there is a campfire,
Kartikeya, go ahead.
It's completely out, and then the last bit is like, you know, that flare that you see, this is what the Congress is. It's basically fading, that this was the last flare. So it seems like it's very venomous and dangerous, but it's not. Secondly, what is this? I don't understand this attitude that if Sonia Gandhi tells Smriti Irani, don't talk to me. What does Sonia Gandhi think of herself? I'm sorry, but I would really like to know, is Sonia Gandhi a queen of India? Is Sonia Gandhi the queen of India, or is she an MP? Is she a member of Parliament of Raebareli?
She may be for the Congress party. You are right, Kartikeya Tanna. But if I can have Savio Rodriguez. No, I understand your point. Savio, who's the chief editor of the Goa Chronicle and is live from Goa, and the most intelligent person on the panel, Tausif Ahmed Khan on the other side. Savio, can you please tell me what in that documents? No. Please don't laugh, Sanju Verma. He's the most intelligent person on the debate. Tausif. Yeah. He brought in the video blog as evidence. He brought in the video blog as evidence. Savio, please tell me. What is mentioned against
And
the
don't talk like a dumb journalist.
18-year-old daughter of the cabinet minister? No, you started it. Tausif, relax. Let's be on facts.
In the document?
Let's be on facts.
In the show cause notice?
Savio.
In the show cause notice, the only name that features in the show cause notice is the name of the owner of the restaurant and bar, the cafe primarily. It's a cafe and bar. The name of the owner. The owner, I repeat, is no longer with us here. He's expired. The most sad part is that the son took over the restaurant.
Tausif, one by one, please.
And the son, as per the laws of Goa, it moves automatically to the son. So at that point of time, they faced two tragedies in the family. One of the father and somebody close to the son. During that point of time, reportedly, the licenses were not renewed. Yet again, the most important thing to remember is
you are a lawyer. Why can't you be on facts?
The notice was issued
let the
to
case
the
be decided on the basis of merits
who's a
on facts,
resident of Goa. Unfortunately,
Point taken, Savio.
Unfortunately,
30 second
you are
answer.
dragging an innocent Goan family,
On facts,
an innocent Goan family
into
this political fight.
Tausif and Sanju Verma.
An innocent Goan family into this political fight for what?
Understood, Savio. Savio understood. Tausif, on facts. 30 seconds.
And somebody close to him.
Okay, Savio. Thank you. Tausif. On facts.
Your panelist by hiding the full facts, your panelist by ignoring that the fact that she was introduced as an entrepreneur and not as an intern, and trying to give it a spin, may win this debate on television. But this is not the court. The court will decide on the basis of documents presented before the court. Yes, this is like a banana republic debate
for the sake of argument. Even if we believe that entrepreneur is somebody related to the Iranis, how does it take away from the fact that union minister was targeted? Union minister was targeted for something which does not exist on the ground, and that is namely no license in the name. That fact does not exist. Tausif.
Court has merely given.
The point is, the charge was about the license. That argument does not exist. That's what Savio is talking about.
The case has not
Sanju,
been
ending,
decided.
30 seconds, Sanju.
So stop
Sanju,
pretending
Sanju,
like the
Sanju,
case
30
has
seconds.
been decided.
Sanju, Verma, 30 seconds.
Smriti Irani has won the case.
Tausif, now calm down, please. Yeah. Sanju, 30 seconds. Sanju, 30 seconds.
Won the case.
Can you please ask Tausif, who seems
George
to be
Kurian,
ranting
yeah.
on and on? My simple point is this, Aishwarya, today your audience needs to go...
Carry on, Sanju, 30 seconds.
One key takeaway, Mini Pushkarna, the Justice of Delhi High Court clearly said, prima facie, there is no case made out by the defendants, that is Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Khera and Netta D'Souza, against the plaintiff, that is Smriti Irani and her daughter. And clearly, prima facie, there was an attempt to malign with defamatory content. This is the Justice of Delhi High Court, Mini Pushkarna. Now, please stop questioning the wisdom of the judges. And neither Smriti Irani nor her daughter are the majority shareholders of Silly Souls. There are only two silly souls in this entire episode. One is Pawan Khera, one is Jairam Ramesh. As per
No, Mr. Kurian,
directors
tell me now. What's your final enlightened...
Entrepreneurs are not liable. Majority
Yeah, Mr. George Kurian. Okay, Sanju ji. Okay, Sanju ji. Okay, done. Okay, point taken.
The Congress party
Final 30 seconds, yeah.
is confident. It has the facts and all the required documents that it needs to prove in the court, and it will do it. And it is not scared of any summons because it is.
And Smriti Irani is also not scared of anything. Smriti Irani has openly challenged. Smriti Irani is openly challenged to bring the facts on the record. She has
No,
nothing
I'll
to
only
hide.
say one
That's
thing
why
with
she
all of you on
filed
the
this
panel, and
lawsuit.
I'll hand it over to Abhishek. I'll just say one
It's
thing.
in total open court.
The courts will decide on the basis of facts. Absolutely. Tausif Ahmed Khan on the basis of facts, not on the basis of just one video of a food blogger. On the basis. And as far as Ravi Srivastava, an advocate, Surendra Chauhan is concerned, Abhishek, my only concern is this: intern, an entrepreneur. Intern, an owner. That's it. It's a vast difference. Intern, an owner. Who's what?
And Aishwarya, like in the case of Draupadi Murmu comment by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, in this case also Congress party seems to be brazening it out. It is clear from this debate, Aishwarya, that, and from the positions in fact the party is taking last week, Congress has got blindsided by the BJP maneuvers, from the selection of presidential candidate to breaking opposition ranks on vice presidential nominee to the change of guard in Maharashtra in fact last month. Add to it the investigation in the National Herald case that has picked up speed after lingering on for years now. It is in this backdrop that we have to see attacks on Union Minister Smriti Irani by the Grand Old Party. She is seen as the Betnor of the Gandhis, and that's why got singled out. It is over to the courts, Aishwarya, of course now, and in the defamation case, better Congress party present those facts. Thank you so much, friends, for joining us. After a short break, Niranjan Narayan Swamy comes up with debates on the issue of Praveen Taru murder and the apology of the Congress party in the Rashtrapati comment case.
So don't go anywhere.
Amity University has India's largest scholarship program, from which over 25,000 brilliant students have already benefited. Students with over 95% in Class 12 boards get 100% scholarship, and students with over 90% get 50% scholarship. Join brilliant like-minded students who want to be successful. Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
India's Super News Network. Republic Media Network's #1 super feed. #1 across all 3 channels. In a fatal accident, a class 9 student lost his life and several were injured as a school bus and a speeding truck collided in Punjab's Hoshiarpur. Congress MP Dipender Singh Hooda given a suspension of business notice in Rajya Sabha over Centre's Agnipath recruitment scheme in the monsoon session of Parliament.
उसमें आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
Amid the tension between China and the United States with regards to Taiwan, China rejected a US bill to encourage more semiconductor companies to build chip plants in the US. China cited containment of restrictions from China-US cooperation in science and technology. US President Joe Biden and China Xi Jinping spent more than 2 hours talking through the future of their complicated relationship. Chinese Foreign Ministry reportedly warned United States President Joe Biden against playing with fire over Taiwan. China also blamed US unilateral sanctions and tariff barriers which affected the security of global supply of energy and food. This comes in the backdrop of US Speaker of the House announcing her trip to Taiwan.
I think that it's important for us to show support for Taiwan. I also think that none of us has ever said we're for independence when it comes to Taiwan. That's up to Taiwan to decide.
Hitting back at Nancy Pelosi, China firmly opposed to the plan.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of the International Financial Services Centre Authority in Gandhinagar. IFSCA will be the unified regulator for the development and regulation of financial products, services and institutions in IFSCs.
Amity University has India's largest scholarship program, from which over 25,000 brilliant students have already benefited. Students with over 95% in Class 12 boards get 100% scholarship, and students with over 90% get 50% scholarship. Join brilliant like-minded students who want to be successful. Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
हेल्दी और टेस्टी कुकिंग का मॉडर्न तरीका।
पेश है कैंट के स्मार्ट शेफ कुकिंग अप्लायंसेस।
खाना बनाए टेस्टी और हेल्दी भी।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Where the software engineer meets the gifted content writer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
Congress MP K. Suresh gives adjournment motion notice in Lok Sabha over war of words which unfolded between Union Minister Smriti Irani and Sonia Gandhi. Congress MP alleges that shocking attempts were made by BJP MPs, including Union Minister Smriti Irani, to threaten Sonia Gandhi. Amid flash floods in Himachal Pradesh, a link road was washed away in Kaza district. An estimated loss of 15 lakh rupees has been incurred, and the Karnataka State Disaster Management Authority has urged the district administration to take stock of the situation.
In a bizarre incident, watch students of primary school in Uttar Pradesh Baldio area making a bridge of chairs for teachers to enter the waterlogged school. This is yet another incident which went viral of teachers allegedly involved in a bizarre incident. Visuals show students drenched in knee-deep water making pathway for teachers by placing chairs in a row. Soon after the video went viral, the teachers were suspended.
उक्त वीडियो का हमने संज्ञान लिया है, उच्चाधिकारियों के भी संज्ञान में उक्त वीडियो है और हमने अध्यापका के विरुद्ध कार्यवाही कर दी है।
Similarly, a teacher was suspended in Uttar Pradesh Hardoi district few days earlier after a video of her getting massage from students went viral. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
India's Super News Network. Republic Media Network's #1 super feed. #1.
From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for the debate.
The debate at 10, presented by GeoMart, powered by Reva University and Greenply.
Thank you for staying with us here on the debate. I'm Niranjan, filling in for Arnab Goswami, who will be back on the show very, very soon. And he should be back here on Monday. 6 days back, Praveen was murdered in Dakshina Kannada. From claims of a PFI linked to the initiation of an NIA probe, it's all hinting at a larger conspiracy to target him. But when the demand is for justice for the BJP leader, Praveen Neturu, the secularity is conspicuously silent. They don't want to utter a word. There are no campaigns, no placards. But why? And some political parties are also claiming a sung internal hand, all of them trying to steer away from the real debate about PFI, SDPI, radicalization. Here's the story so far, and then we debate. 4 days since the horrific killing of Praveen, and justice remains elusive. There have been 3 shocking murders that have taken place in the region.
I've instructed ADGP Law and Order to stay there and see that prompt action is taken. For us, all incidents are equal, all murders, all life of the people are same to us. So we want to take strict actions on all the 3 cases. As and when required, whatever is necessary within the frame of law, we will do all actions. It might be UP model or Karnataka model.
And Section 144 has been imposed. Now, even as the BJP Yuva Morcha president met with the family of Praveen, the Congress tried to spin the entire murder to indicate it was an inside job, saying it was linked to the Sangh Parivar. The Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has made it clear the NIA will handle the case given the complexities.
ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಲೆಟರ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನು NIA ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ನಾವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
The Karnataka Higher Education Minister has gone a step ahead, saying his government was ready for an encounter.
ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೀಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದ ನಾಗರಿಕರ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ, ಅವರ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ತೀವ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಯಾರೇ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿ ಆ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇನು ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ UP-ಗಿಂತ ಒಂದು 5 ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. UP-ಗಿಂತನೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, UP-ಗಿಂತನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
A former union minister is calling out the silence of the secularity and asking why the so-called secular brigade was silent on the beheading that happened in Udaipur, Amravati and Karnataka. And those saying, "Not in my name," are nowhere to be seen. Tonight, the nation is watching the hypocrisy of the self-declared secularity. Let's debate. Joining us on the debate this evening, Mohan Krishna, leader of the BJP, Rahul Ishwar, activist, Sandeep Ghosh, author, political commentator, Aishwarya Mudgal, lawyer, Tanveer Ahmed, national spokesperson of the JDS, Professor D.K. Giri, political commentator, Sameer Singh, national spokesperson, Samajwadi Party, Kapil Madan, advocate and political analyst. I wanted to start with Mohan Krishna because, I just heard the minister there saying encounter Madak Rediyagidiri. I mean, why? I mean, we'll debate everything else. I just wanted to start with you. I mean, why you talk about Yogi model? Yes, you should be stern. You should, ensure that law and order is in place. But why is there a debate about Yogi model? Why is there a debate about readiness to do encounters?
Niranjan, very good evening to you. It is not going to be Yogi model or anything for that matter. It is going to be a Karnataka model, where in Karnataka model we will have Gujarat model development, Yogi model of handling things in a better way, and Bombay model of a different way of handling.
You forgot to mention Rajasthan model.
Respective miscreants.
You forgot to mention Rajasthan model. No, Rajasthan model you forgot to mention.
No.
No, can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why?
Very big joke.
Can I tell you? No, why? You didn't hear me. You hear me, no? Because in the Rajasthan model, the PFI got permission to march.
Yes,
You forgot to mention that. In the Rajasthan model, the PFI got permission to march. SDPI is flourishing. That's on a lighter note. But anyway, you complete your point and I'll bring in Tanveer.
Yes, Niranjan, you are absolutely right. No. I will just take 1 minute of my time. What Mr. Ashwath Narayan talked about encounter, we will go one step ahead than encounter. That's what he said. What does it mean? The fear of law should be there for the people. I would like to tell you.
Why was there no fear of the law? Can you please tell me there is so much anger against your party? You're telling all of this now. No. Very nice. It's sounding nice. But can you tell me why was he killed then? Why was he killed, Tanveer? Tanveer, why was he killed? And who's responsible? And why are some political parties now giving it a spin, saying it's an insider job, etc.?
Before I come to why was he killed, we believe in several models which are absolutely on which India was formed. We believe in Ambedkar model, we believe in Mahatma Gandhi model, we believe in constitutional model, we believe in Sri Ram's model. We believe in a model which was designed for better India, not Ashwath Narayan model or Yogi model. We are looking for Karnataka model which is on development, togetherness, peace, prosperity, sarve jano sukhino bhavatu.
Niranjan,
this is what is the model Karnataka is
misleading, saying that
now,
they have utilized these models to make that PFI and SDPI miscreants to grow.
You hear him.
That's what they have done.
Mohan Krishna, you hear him.
That's what they have done.
No, when you have come unprepared, no sir, you have come unprepared for the debate, so let me just get my chance, sir. Karnataka is absolutely, see, when the law and order situation, whose responsibility it is the responsibility of the state. Who is at the helm of the affair? Who is at the helm of the affair? The chief minister. The chief minister. Who is at the helm of the affair? The Honorable Home Minister. If at all the law and order situation has absolutely gone bad, sir, why do you heckle, sir? Why do you heckle, sir? When your opportunities come to you, you can really speak, sir. Sir, why are you heckling, sir? Why are you heckling, sir? When your chance will come, please speak, sir. Please, let me just speak, sir.
You are not talking right.
Okay, let's.
You are talking Ambedkar model. What is Ambedkar model?
Okay, 1 minute, please.
Explain to the people what is Ambedkar model.
No, 1 minute.
Explain to the people what is Ambedkar model.
What is Ambedkar model? Okay.
Sir, you are not anchoring the debate for me to explain to you, sir. You are nobody to me, sir. Let Niranjan ask me that question. I will explain him, sir. You are not anchoring the show, sir. So I am not going to question you. Please kindly don't question me, sir.
Okay, let me then in that case take the opportunity. Thank you for letting me back on the debate.
Also.
1 minute. Thank you for letting me back on the debate. You know, today you had a comment coming in from Siddaramaiah, who's been a former chief minister. The Congress party essentially seems to be giving cover fire to the PFI and SDPI. Kapil Madan is on the debate. Kapil Madan, and I'll get you in with Rahul Ishwar, okay? PFI and SDPI.
Niranjan, why don't they ban PFI? Why
I'll come to that.
Ban SDPI?
No, there is a large
Central
chunk.
government is BJP. State government.
No,
is BJP.
I have a large chunk. I have a large chunk of my debate dedicated to that. Wait. No, 1 minute. Mohan Krishna, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Mohan Krishna, I have a large chunk of the debate dedicated to that. These sheets are dedicated to the questions to the BJP. I'm going to ask you that. Okay, I'm coming to that. But my question was to Kapil Madan right now. Kapil Madan, on what basis is your party calling it an internal Sangh Parivar war? So the attempt seems to be to give cover fire, somehow not blame SDPI, PFI. What's your interest in it? Your party's interest, that is.
Niranjan, as a responsible citizen, I think the only interest we should have is to ensure that the justice is being done. And the model that we are talking about, Yogi model, Karnataka model, this model, that model, the real model we should talk about in a situation like this is a justice model to ensure that the boy who has been brutally murdered gets justice and the perpetrator of this crime are booked and taken to task severely by the investigating agencies, and they should act without any kind of fear and a favor. Now, you've also mentioned about, Yogi model. I would like to tell you two things about Yogi model. First thing, Yogi model is the same model where a person, Bajrang Muni, gives open threat to a particular community that please go and
you have a poor audio line, Kapil. I have a poor audio line. I'll just redial you. Kapil, I have a poor audio line. I can't hear you.
I know.
Can't hear you.
I know. People can hear, Niranjan.
Oh God!
I think everyone else can hear. I think everyone else hear.
You asked the other panelists. You don't trust me. Ask the other panelists. Oh God! Okay, please complete your point.
Sir, if others make everything a conspiracy, sir.
Everything is a conspiracy. Okay, go ahead, Kapil. I'll give you 10 seconds for poor audio. Let poor audio go for 10 more seconds.
Allow me to make second point. Even it is a poor audio, allow me to make my second point. Yogi model is the same model where a minister of the BJP government threatens the farmer. His son goes down and mows down the farmers by his jeep.
Why am I talking about model? Please, yaar. Please. What are you talking about, Kapil? Come on.
I know.
Kapil, what was my question? Kapil.
I am telling you a model. I am responding. I will respond to why are you talking about a Yogi model? In fact, the debate
I don't want to talk about any model, boss. I've asked you about PFI and SDPI. What was my question?
I don't want to talk about it. I will come to you.
Is it out of the syllabus? 1 minute. 1 minute.
PFI also.
No, where? But I can't keep waiting for you to come to the point. Come to the point, no, Kapil. Time is money. Come on.
Yes. Let me come to the PFI. I think one of the panelists has very rightly raised the question. If you have so much of evidence against PFI, why don't you ban it? The fact that you are not banning it, everywhere when this kind of a situation happens, you say, you take a cover fire from the PFI and say PFI is involved, this is involved, that is involved, and you don't do complete justice in a situation like this, because if you don't ban PFI and you let PFI commit these kind of offences one after the other, who's to be responsible for this?
Now, I'll tell
who
you.
is accountable for this?
I'll tell you. Okay, you're right. You have a valid question. Towards the end of your debate, you made a valid point, but I'll take that to Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar, also what I want to cover on this debate while we talk about PFI and SDPI, and of course that is the crux of, because the investigation seems to be leading towards that, is also the response of political parties and this secular brigade. See, in the case of Praveen Neturu, what do they say? The first thing they say is, law and order is collapsed. Did you hear anybody from the opposition, right, talk about PFI or SDPI? Nobody. Why won't they talk about it, Rahul?
And this is an occasion where we forget about right, left, Congress, BJP come together, because there is an Islamist extremism looming on the horizon. See, I am the most, Hindu-Muslim bye-bye person you can see. I am a Gandhian. I believe, in cooperation. I believe in all the Ganga, Jamuni, Tehsi. But at the same point of time, just remember, Kabilji even suspects there is a conspiracy to let down his technical audio. So what will be the feeling of the family of Praveen, who has been hacked to death? And they will always remember this pain. There will be retaliation from various sections if there is violence goes unchecked. So beyond Congress or Congress or BJP, there is a deeper issue here we need to address. And please remember, PFI, even in Kerala where I come from, they have chopped off the hands of a professor. Please remember that much barbaric is the hardline Islamist mindset. We all love our Muslim brothers, respect Islam, but Islamism, there is a danger to it. Who can even chop off the heads of the people, post it on media saying that we will do this. There is an Islamist strand of extremism. Earlier it was PFI, Simi, then they will regroup as PFI. If you ban you, they will regroup as something else. So there is an Islamist radicalism which unfortunately our centre-left friends, Congress failed to address because they feel it will offend our Muslim brothers. Please remember, these Islamists are dangerous to Muslim community just like any other community in the world. So it is high time people call out. See this response of Siddaramaiah ji, who's a senior politician. He is even shifting the blame to Sangh. Please forget about RSS, Hindu, BJP, Congress at this moment. The Islamist hardliners are a real threat to India and the world, and they are a cancerous terrorist space that the world is tackling with. Without addressing these serious issues, they believe just by blaming RSS they have scored a brownie point. Is a very unfortunate reaction. Yes, state government, central government should take hard reactions. That even in a so-called secular state like Kerala High Court went on to ask why are not more hard actions not being taken against PFI or the SDPI. So please remember, we are facing a common enemy. Let us forget our political differences and unite against this strand, because there is a global dimension. And even 100 people from Kerala went and joined ISIS. It's a report that the leftist chief minister of Kerala said. So beyond right and left, we need to unite against the hardline. And unfortunate death of killing of Praveen, and justice delayed will always be justice denied. His family, his members, his circle, everyone will be pained. And these kind of violence will go on unless it is checked and swift justice is done. So you call it any model, but justice model is what we need, and we need it fast. Burying our all political differences, we should come together on topic
I'll
of
tell
how
you,
to deal with
Rahul,
extremism.
I'll tell you the contrast, okay? And let me take this question to DK, and I'll bring in after that Sandeep Ghosh and Aishwarya Mudgil. DK, see the times that we live in, DK, the same people who go berserk every time, such crimes are committed. Now they're claiming Sangh links when the police is talking about, radical groups, the role of radical groups, right? Now they talk about human rights for everyone. They're talking about human rights for Yasin Malik today. They're saying Yasin Malik is on a fast. They want Yasin Malik rights, human rights for Yasin Malik, right? When the wife of one of the accused, the irony is the wife of one of the accused has said, my husband was working for the PFI and SDPI. And yet there is such a strong attempt to somehow hide that, bury that. Why is that, DK?
Well, I mean, as I have said before, Niranjan, you, as a journalist, you focus on people and political parties. As a researcher, I will focus on the issues. The issues is of violence, hatred, sectarianism, polarization. How do you address those issues? However, the issues are manifesting by different political parties. See, SDPI, PFI is usually a bogey. If it is not a bogey, like others are saying, why don't you ban it? How long can you invoke SDPI and PFI's role, and why don't you take action against them? So point is, what are the human rights, the democratic norms we are respecting in our country? That is more important. Political parties will behave with their vested interest for electoral gains. We cannot expect any justice out of them. They will be driven by their vested interest. But what is important is that you and me should call out that this is in danger, the human rights, the democratic practice, you see, the civility in our country, the justice, that is important. If we don't raise these issues, if we go by political parties, they are tweedledum and tweedledee. You cannot really differentiate between them. Today is BJP which is being accused, another day it is Congress party or others. So as concerned citizens, as a conscious journalist or as a conscious academic, we should be raising issues. And your channel has been doing it. Please raise issues. No name calling, no blame game. It is the issues, it is the norms. That is what we should raise in our country. That will sustain our democracy. I would urge you to do that. The other parties will fall out. Okay? They will fall by the wayside. One party will come, another party will go. What will remain?
Yeah, they will come and go, but the PFI and SDPI will remain.
Human values and the rights.
No, I agree with you, DK. They will come and they will go, and the PFI.
The government is keeping them.
I want to take that question too. I want to take that question too.
Government is propping them up.
That was my question. I was going to ask that question to Sandeep. See, Sandeep knows a thing or two about this. Let me ask him. Sandeep, I'll take this to Sandeep and then let Aishwarya come in, and then I'll get in the Samajwadi Party as well. Sandeep, see, there is, we're going to this article, okay, recently. Apparently, in the end of June, the Congress Party met, and Rahul Gandhi was there, and a few of his leaders, lieutenants were there, and Congress's Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar were there. Now, what they realized in that meeting is that they were losing ground in coastal Karnataka because they felt that the minority vote was slipping from them, and two parties primarily were a concern to them. One is the SDPI, second is the AIMIM. According to the Congress internal presentation that was made apparently. Now it leaves you with two scenarios. Now apparently Siddaramaiah is reported to have said that we failed, that is the Congress party failed to back the minority community, namely Muslim community, on issues like hijab. And he said we should vocally sort of stand behind them like we used to, which is reflecting in the statement that he made today. Now, the other thing that comes out of this report is that if the SDPI is eating into the Congress space, why would the BJP ban them, Sandeep?
First thing, Niranjan, I'd just like to, you raised 3 or 4 points, and I'll come to this one. First point is what you said about the secularity. Now, I always say Bangalore has got now its own set of Khan market crowd, whom I call the Koshis crowd. Not all of them go to Koshis, but that is the Koshis, that represents
there's some good food there. Some good food there, Sandeep.
Good food, yeah. I still go to Koshis whenever I go, and good food, cheap beer, and the rest of it. But Koshis is good. But there is a Koshis crowd which is there, and that is where I think these people are losing credibility by being selective on issues which they outrage about and where they choose to shut their mouth, shut their eyes, and look the other way. So I think that those sort of people we shouldn't be taking too seriously. Congress, again, upon Karnataka, what is their strategy? I don't know. I think they are unable to decide whether Rahul Gandhi should go and attend Siddaramaiah's birthday or not. That is the bigger concern than what is happening with the coastal Karnataka parties. That's not the issue. I think Congress needs to spell out. I heard your panelists saying that why aren't they banning PFI? What is Congress's clear stand on PFI or this kind of a communal organization? And as Rahul Ishwar said very correctly, today is PFI, tomorrow they can become somebody else, but Congress also needs to spell that out. If they don't spell that out, they don't realize how they are marginalizing themselves from the whole the game, and giving it away to whether if they, assuming for a moment without admitting polarization is an issue, but they are falling into that trap by trying to only protect one set, and that is what has been Congress's problem throughout. They don't understand, how to take a more holistic view.
I don't understand why the gentleman is worried about Congress party.
No, he's trying to make a point.
He's a big stakeholder here.
No, he's trying to make a point. He's trying to make a point.
I do have a worry about Congress party because India needs an opposition.
Yeah.
Karnataka is a state where Congress, one of the states where they were credible. Congress party is, I don't want to divert this debate. Congress is relevant in Karnataka because in one state in the south where on their own they can, counter BJP or be an effective opposition or even come to power. So it is very important for India as well as people of Karnataka to have an opposition which has a broader outlook, which goes, as everybody is saying, whether it's the Gandhian model, Ambedkar model or whatever, they have to present an alternative. Congress is only bothered about what BJP is doing wrong, trying to run BJP down to say that this is their internal problem, this is how it's happened, and that will not invoke, inspire confidence in Congress by the people of Karnataka. So they need to take a holistic view, and that is important not just for Congress, for India as a whole. I don't hold any brief for BJP. While I am totally against Congress's dynastic politics, but I think Congress is a party which needs to reinvent itself, re-engineer itself to be an effective opposition. Nobody else, a JDS cannot be an opposition in Karnataka.
We are not.
Okay. No, you are unnecessarily interrupting me. I'm not debating with you. I'm making my general point from whatever has been said so far.
I have not said a word.
Now, finally coming to BJP.
Gentlemen. I haven't said a word.
Why are you coming in?
Okay,
how am I interrupting you?
You are not my audience. You're not my single audience. I'm speaking to a larger audience on Republic, plus the panel.
I didn't say a word, Mr. Ghosh.
No,
you are imagining. You are
exaggerating your own. I
didn't say a word.
Mr. Giri, you are exaggerating your own importance by thinking I'm only speaking to you, which I'm not.
Gentlemen, I did not say a word. I did not say a word.
Can we, if you don't mind? We've lost 2 lives. 1 minute. We've lost 2 lives. Yeah, please. He's making his point. Hold on. He's completing his point. Yeah.
It's totally a failure on BJP's part that they've allowed such a situation to happen. Secondly, they have deterred, or they have been tentative about acting on it, and that's why they're inviting
You're spot on.
a lot of backlash, pushback within the community. And I see people who are very balanced, who are who are not into this. They are also upset about what is happening on the ground, that why has not, I think Mr. Bomai has a lot of credibility to recover. The credibility will not be recovered by saying, whether it's UP model or Gujarat model or anything.
It's ridiculous.
As we said, he has to have a Karnataka model, or whichever way you want to call it. And that has to be totally, people of Karnataka has got 2 sets of people today. I'll just take half a minute more, Niranjan. There is one set of very, very articulate, whom you'll call the cosmopolitan crowd, who are opinion leaders, who are sitting in Bangalore and who really in some ways contribute to. Then there are other mutts and this and that. Those are the elements. So Congress has to really establish, BJP has to establish their credibility with this crowd, not just for Karnataka, for the rest of India. Karnataka is not UP. Karnataka is not Madhya Pradesh.
A lot of people are wondering why they're talking about UP in the first place. A lot of people are asking why they're talking about UP, saying we'll do 5.
I think that's a strategic mistake.
Yeah.
They don't want to import a yogi into South. That will be the biggest thing for them to put off the Southern people, to say that we want to import a yogi model into the South. That will be, I think really shooting themselves on the...
No, I just want to bring it...
Niranjan,
yes, please tell me 1 minute. Mohan Krishna, Aishwarya hasn't spoken. I want to go across to her, but I'll ask you a 30 second. I'll give you 30 seconds to respond, okay? Now you tell me, you're saying we're ready to do encounters, we will do this, we will do that. People are saying we're all talk. People are saying we've been hearing for years now that you'll ban the PFI and the SDPI. What if you actually haven't done that, right? And you know how many times we've spoken about it? Do you remember there was somebody called Harsha? Do you remember Harsha? Do you know Harsha? Do you know Harsha in Shivamogga who was lynched? Do you know?
Shivamogga.
So please tell us who was behind this killing, sir. You're from Karnataka, you're speaking to us from there. Please tell me who was behind the killing.
Niranjan, you have taken a right question today.
No, but you give me the right answer, sir. Who was responsible,
sir? The hijab issue was going on.
Hijab issue, and then Harsha, and then now...
Let me answer to you.
20 seconds.
See, Niranjan, you have given 30 seconds. I will answer to you very fast. See, there is a kind of a model of this Congress and appeasement politics done by the opposition, which they don't give the name. The name is maybe the PFI, maybe the SDPI. They don't name it, as you rightly said. The other way of looking at this, that we have to take care of the moment we talk about encounters and other things, they talk. You are appeasing. You are taking care of one community. The other community you are not taking care. Come on, let me talk to them today. Ask a simple question today. Mr. Siddaramaiah, 23 people have been killed in the same coastal belt. Then why did you leave 173 people then? Is it not because of that?
Sir, what was my question to you, Mr. I think my question was something else. No, you're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. I'll let Aishwarya take that question. Aishwarya, why do you think they're being slow on this?
I'm answering to your question.
No, sir, you're diverting, completely diverting. Diverting. No, I'll let Aishwarya speak. Later. Let Aishwarya speak now. Yes, Aishwarya hasn't spoken.
No, I'm answering to you.
No, let Aishwarya come in now, sir.
We are ready to.
Sir, you are saying you're ready. Every debate you say we're ready, sir. We've been debating for, I don't know, last 2-3 months. Aishwarya.
Niranjan, first I will make comments on the issue and then I'll answer your question. The murder of Kanhaiya Lal by Ghaus Mohammed and Riaz Akhtar, the murder of Umesh Kole by Shahrukh Pathan, and now the murder of Praveen Netteru by Shafiq and Zakir has a common link. What is that common link? It is the fact that all three of these murders were facilitated by their neighbors or by people close to them. This disturbing trend was observed during the Kashmiri exodus in 1990, and I'm very saddened and as a Hindu in India, even scared that this trend of involvement of unsuspecting individuals and their monumental contribution in radical violence is gathering pace faster than one could have imagined. It is these events that make me worried and scared about the very survival of Hindus in India. It is our misfortune that a Hindu lady's response to a panelist's comments on her religion gathers global headlines, but no, the brutal murder, even the slaughter of the likes of Kole, Kanhaiya, Nishank, and now even Praveen does not capture the conscience of the larger Hindu society. But having said this, as I've said before on your channel, the Popular Front of India is nothing but old wine in new bottle, a modern, sophisticated version of Simi. Time and again, and case after case, the role of the Popular Front of India in these heinous crimes, which have outright communal angle, has been proven beyond doubt. So much so that the left that has been in bed with these radicals themselves have spoken against PFI, including Pinnaray Vijayan, who himself has spoken against the PFI. But unsurprisingly, it is the grand old party and its entitled prince who came running to PFI stronghold in Kerala to become a member of parliament, who are giving the intellectual and moral cover to the organization. This party and its cabal of activists, media persons and lawyers do so deliberately and knowingly.
Yeah, even now.
I would like to say just give me 30 seconds.
Let her complete a point. I'll give her 10 more seconds, yeah.
In conclusion, I would like to say that maintaining law and order is the primary responsibility of any government, state or center. And unfortunately, ever since the Nupur incident, maintaining law and order has been a tremendous challenge for all governments.
Yeah.
It is expected of the Karnataka government and now the NIA, to whom the case has been transferred for investigation, that a thorough probe is carried swiftly and in a time-bound manner, and that the perpetrators of the murder of Praveen are given the treatment that they deserve. It is also expected that the political party in whom most Hindus and Indians have reposed their trust and faith speaks up against the killing of its karyakartas, because those in positions of leadership must also realize that these karyakartas also have friends and families. It is they who slog every day to ensure that the party and its idea of Hindutva is alive in the hinterlands of the country. Therefore, not only
let me get in Samir.
Just 10 seconds, I'll just...
Okay, quickly, I need to bring in Samir.
So I would just say that we as a Hindu society also owe it to these people who selflessly work each and every day, despite the... So I did not interrupt you. I am the only woman on the panel. Let me speak. I have asked you for 10 seconds and that's what I'm going to take. As a Hindu society, we also need to protect these karyakartas, and these are the people who selflessly work every day. Niranjan, yesterday it was Nishank. Day before that, it was someone else. Tomorrow, it could be you or me.
Yeah, I want to ask Samir that question. Actually, Samir Singh is a spokesperson. Now, 1 minute. Samir hasn't spoken. Please, Samir hasn't spoken. Kapil, please. Samir hasn't spoken. Samir has been waiting patiently. Samir, see, kai parties hote hai, you know, when they talk about lynchings, for example, they talk about akhlaq. But I've barely heard any opposition parties speak up, like, you know, speak about Umesh Kole, speak about Kanhaiya Lal, speak about Harsha, speak about Praveen Netteru. Has anybody from your party or your leadership tweeted about Praveen? Can I ask you a question, and Samir, you can respond? I think you know my question.
Niranjan, first of all, thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak. I thought that would never come. And before answering to your question, since the debate was, I was told the debate was about the statement that was made regarding the UP model in Karnataka. So first of all, I'd just like to make a very small comment before I answer your question. So while I listened to the statement that UP model can be implemented in Karnataka, it's a shocker. It's a shocker that the current UP model, which only signifies anarchy and lawlessness, is being spoken about to be implemented in Karnataka, which has been synonymous with as an IT hub of the country, synonymous with development and synonymous with literacy rate. So high literacy rate.
Can you come to my question now?
As far as implementation of, yeah, definitely I'll come to your question. Since you've branded
then what they were doing all these 70 years
secular brigade term that you've used in this debate a lot. So I fail to understand when has any
problematic.
Let him complete his point. Mohan,
whoever is Can I please? Yes. Can I please? I've been listening very patiently to all the panelists. So whichever panelist is disturbing, can you please give me my time? Yeah, so coming back to your question, listen, Samajwadi Party or any, as termed by you, the secular brigade, no party has failed in condemning such incidents, whether it is
this incident have you condemned?
Hindu victim or it's a Muslim victim, irrespective, we have already condemned, we have always condemned.
No, this one have you condemned, Samir?
That involves any, any link with any community that has any communal angle to it.
No, I appreciate that. No, it's a fantastic stand. No, it's a great stand. But have you condemned this incident?
Niranjan, just to complete my point, the only reservation with Samajwadi Party is that we always have this reservation that when incidents like these take place and connections are being made with PFI or similar organizations, then why don't we just ban these organizations rather than pinning blames on them? And at every, whether it's the Kanpur riots we saw and the incidents that followed, or later on the incidents that followed, we see that all the time, every time PFI linked or similar organizations link is being established, but eventually
are you for a ban? Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Samir, are you for a ban? Are you for a ban? Are you for a ban? Okay, can we have, like, towards the end of the debate, can I have a hands up? Who's for a ban?
In fact,
how many of the panelists are for a ban? How many of the panelists are for a ban on the PFI and SDPI? Can I have?
We are definitely up for a PFI ban or any such organization.
Tanveer is not raising his hand. Tanveer, do you need the SDPI for the elections, Tanveer? Okay, he's raised his hand now. Okay, he's raised his hands. Okay.
Are you raising a point or are you raising your hands in support of the ban?
I think he's going to.
Kerala High Court went on to say
I am raising hand in support of the ban. I am raising my hand in support of the ban. If SDPI is the reason
Kapil, I didn't see your hand go up.
Communal disharmony in my state,
I think we're not looking at the debate.
When you are in power with Congress, why you did not do that? Tanveer, my question to you.
No, I think the only one who didn't raise the hand was BJP. No, Mr. Krishna, you didn't raise your hand. Mr. Krishna, did you raise your hand? Mr. Krishna, did you raise your hand? Mr. Krishna, did you raise your hand?
Ask the BJP spokesman.
That's the hidden agenda of BJP. We've seen now and then the
spokesperson. You have to come prepared, Mr. Mohan Krishna.
No, Niranjanji, just one submission.
Yes, now last one. Okay.
Beyond Congress and politics, even a BJP MP, Nalin Kumar, so huge protest from BJP Karyakartas on ground. It's high time Congress and BJP does more on Islamist radicalism. Even BJP's MPs are facing protests from their own party. It is beyond party politics and we need to be against this in a much more deeper, stronger and firmer manner. Even courts are saying it. Now why don't we act against it?
Exactly. We saw what the Kerala High Court said, and at the end of this debate, if there is, God forbid.
And to the country.
Yeah, God forbid, there have been so many cases in the last 2 months, and there is some PFI, SDPI link that investigating agencies speak about, police speaks about. Now, God forbid there's one more case, Mohan, and once more the PFI or the SDPI name comes up. I don't know how people are going to react, and that's probably why even your own party, grassroots workers, are really upset on the ground. You saw those pictures. On that note, I'll thank Mohan Krishna, Rahul Ishwar, Sandeep Ghosh, Aishwarya, Tanveer, Professor D.K. Giri, Samir and Kapil. Thank you for joining us. Okay, finally, debate number 3, cash, jewelry, political links, Bengal cash scam getting more sensational by the passing day. Today there were more raids that were conducted in Bengal, more summons that were issued, and if the last week is anything to go by, there's more cash that is likely to be recovered. Now, where does this money trail ultimately lead? And who's the big fish getting that money? That's the debate, and here are the developments. A third raid taking place at Arpita Mukherjee's residence in Kolkata. And the ED crackdown is on.
যে গাড়িতে পার্থ চ্যাটার্জি রয়েছে, যে গাড়িতে তিনি বসে রয়েছেন, সেই গাড়ি থেকে যখনই আমাদের প্রতিনিধি প্রশ্ন করছে, সেই প্রশ্নের কিন্তু উত্তর দিলেন না, তিনি কাঁচ তুলে দিলেন। এই গাড়িটা, এই ইনোভা গাড়ি, ব্ল্যাক কালারের ইনোভা গাড়িতেই রয়েছেন পার্থ চ্যাটার্জি। জোকা ইএসআই তে তাদেরকে নিয়ে যাওয়া হচ্ছে।
Seen today as the media covered her journey, Arpita breaking down in ED custody.
আমাকে শক্তি দিন,
And Partha Chatterjee, who's been relieved of his ministerial duties, is changing his line. But after these mega recoveries, speculation is rife that these cars are moving with tons and tons of cash in them. And the ED has not confirmed if this is true. But on the ground, the protests continue.
ये रुपया पार्थ चैटर्जी ममता जी का डायरेक्शन में कलेक्शन किया। ये टीएमसी का अपनी जो एजेंडा है, करप्शन एजेंडा, उसका माफी ये काम हो रहा है।
The BJP is saying Partha is not the big fish.
पार्टी चाहता है कि पार्थ बाबू से हाथ धो ले, कन्नी काट ले। अब ममता बनर्जी भतीजा सरकार और परिवार को बचाने के लगे हैं। सारे लोग आप परिवार बचाओ, नेता बचाओ, जैसा कांग्रेस में हो रहा है वही हो रही है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कोई बच पाएगा।
Partha Chatterjee, the erstwhile Education Minister of West Bengal, and his close associate Arpita Mukherjee has already been arrested by ED. But the Central Investigating Agency is sending summons to more TMC functionaries and more close associates and close aides of the erstwhile Education Minister of West Bengal, Mr. Partha Chatterjee.
The scam is only getting bigger tonight. Let's debate. Joining us on debate number 3, Sardar RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. Sandeep Ghosh continues to stay with us, author, political commentator. Professor Manojit Mandal, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, joining us live from Kolkata. And Professor D.K. Giri continues to stay with us. He's a political commentator as well. Let me start with Manojit, and then Sardar RP Singh can come in. Manojit, what's going on when Partha Chatterjee makes these bizarre and contradictory claims? On one hand, he claims to be a victim of conspiracy. We saw those sequences. On the other hand, he lauds Mamata Banerjee for sacking him from being a minister. And he's changed his line within 1 hour. What's going on?
So you see, I'm not really a doctor or a psychiatrist, though I would love to be one. So what's going in through his mind only he can tell. We are very clear on this, that we are zero tolerant to corruption. If anybody, including Mr. Partha Chatterjee, is found guilty, I mean, they will face the law, despite the fact that they were not even charged. The party and the government that the party represents took action. But what action BJP is taking? I am taking names. Ajay Kumar Mishra, whose son mowed down the farmers in Lakhimpur. Nothing. I have been talking about Nitish Pramanik. Nothing. I have been talking about Pragya Singh Thakur. Nothing. Hemant Biswa Sharma. Nothing. Shubhendu Adhikari. Nothing. They are all continuing with their post. BJP and the current political dispensation in the center should be the last to talk about corruption, criminality, because they harbor heinous criminals who are charged of murder, dacoity, rape, sexual harassment, including terrorism. So I mean, let's go for the data. You go for the data, you will understand that 30 to 40% of the MPs from BJP will have this kind of criminal record. And look at the data of the Trinamool Congress.
No,
Not
what did
find
he
even
Manojit, what did he mean? What did he mean when he says he's victim of conspiracy?
Heinous murder. What I am meaning, again I am saying, I am not a psychiatrist, not even a psychologist. Only Mr. Chatterjee can tell what he is trying to say.
Victim of conspiracy.
I won't be surprised. This is my personal opinion. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if BJP through ED and CBI very soon sends him a friend request. Because that's the trend of the BJP and the investigative agency. I've taken the name Shubhendu Adhikari, Mukul Roy, Nitish Pramanik. They've all been TMC. They have been chucked out of TMC. BJP has made friends out of them. All are criminals.
Is Mukul Roy back in the Trinamool Congress? Anyway, Sardar RP Singh will take that. Yeah, Sardar RP Singh. Sardar RP Singh.
We really don't know why it is.
Okay, Sardar RP Singh, responding to you.
Thank you. I hope I won't be interrupted. Because common journalists, when you speak, they interrupt. Till 21 crore, it is cut money. 50 crore, it is corrupt money. That's what's happening. They didn't react it. They didn't react it with 21 crore rupees was there in a flat. And till then they kept quiet. Because, the 21 crore could have been part of the cut money process which was being sent to the higher bosses. But when it came to 50 crore, he's corrupt because this 30 crore was not shared, I was not told to the higher bosses. But leave that point aside. The bigger issue is that who is talking? And people who have been hoarding money in bathrooms, in toilets, and then what do Mamata Banerjee said? I will not spare a crap. Few days back, Mr. Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, was on record telling these youngsters who went protesting that I'll ensure that you will get your jobs if you are entitled for. Now all of a sudden they have turned around. So it means it was in their knowledge that things have gone wrong. The money has been taken. And then it's not only that. Now this gentleman is talking about that. Give me a second. This gentleman is taking a lot of names. This is happening as per court order, and you have all the right to go to the court, sir. You can also go to the court and get an order to the ED or to the other agencies to raid whoever you want to get a raid done. Raid connected. But answer this: 50 crore rupees.
Can I reply?
Why didn't you react it on 21 crore rupees itself? Why have to wait for another 30 crore to be revealed or to be picked by the ED?
Let me ask Sandeep Ghosh. Sandeep, I'll let you respond, Manojit. I'll let you respond. Manojit. Can I just get Sandeep Ghosh and Professor D.K. Giri in, because I have very little time. Sandeep Ghosh, hearing now that there are 2 cars, so many cars, losing count, 4 cars, 4 luxury cars on the move that have gone missing. But the Enforcement Directorate is not confirming the fact that there was money in the car, but we are hearing from reports that there are 4 luxury cars with cash on the move in Kolkata. There are, some reports with even their registration number plates as well.
So, Niranjan, the current joke, which there are lots of WhatsApp jokes come from Calcutta. They said first the ED had to get counting machines for the notes which they're recovering. Now they have to get counting machines for these kind of cars, properties which Partha Chatterjee own, because every day the list is going on increasing. So that's a separate story, and as everybody is saying, I also personally don't believe that it begins and ends with Partha Chatterjee. So what I really now love debating with Manojit because I see a lot of balance, lot of objectivity and nuanced debates from him. Now, what I find is the distancing. In another debate, somebody else, earlier they were referring to this lady as that woman. Now they are referring to Partha Chatterjee as that man or, Mr. Chatterjee. And I would not insult anybody by comparing Partha Chatterjee with Shubhendu Adhikari. everybody who's aware of Calcutta politics, though Monoji doesn't think I know, Partha Chatterjee's relationship with Ms. Banerjee go way, way back when he used to study in Ashutosh College, and she was on the girls' side from those days, and he's been the most trusted, person. And he used to openly say that he's the second person in command. So, it cannot begin and end there.
Yeah.
So we have to really, I think, and the funny last thing I'll say, I assume everything is correct, that, whether whatever Monojit is saying about BJP people being criminals, crooks, etc., I wouldn't go into the fact that why if Mukul Roy is a criminal, why he was accepted back in the party with flowers and honors. You don't really take back a criminal. That's a different story. But assuming everything else is true, now, would you, does that justify what is happening here? One wrong doesn't justify another, or two wrongs don't make a right. Okay, assuming everything, Monojit will now talk about Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, let's take, I wouldn't go into those debates. He might say, Ajay Teni, I don't know what's the connection.
Let me give him 30 seconds to respond.
Okay. So therefore, what's the connection? One doesn't justify the other. I can be a criminal, but if you have done a criminal act, that is independent. Whether you have caught me or not is a separate issue. Please take up on that. Yeah. And someday it will happen. But just because I'm a criminal, your criminality does not get neutralized.
Yeah, Manojit, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond only because I have exactly 1 minute left, and I'll give 30 seconds to DK Giri. 30 seconds to you and then 30 seconds to DK Giri.
The distinction is, the difference is for all of you to see. Even before the man was charged,
all of to see,
we threw him out of the party, at least temporarily. Now, please don't disturb me. What are they doing? This party, please stop him. Please don't stop. That. Look at this man. I mean, what are you doing in the parliament? I mean, the parliamentarians are sitting for 3-4 days. You have muzzled their voice. Now you are muzzling my voice. Niranjan, I seek your indulgence, Niranjan, that I am allowed to speak at least on TV. Because we have 10 seconds. I seek your kind indulgence.
RP, give him 10 seconds. Losing time, RP.
Please stop this aggressive man. He shows his teeth everywhere inside the parliament and TV studio, please.
Which man are you talking about?
Let me have my say, for God's sake. The difference is there. I'm talking about the person who is disturbing me, whoever he is. Look at the difference. This party is built with the blood and toil of Mamata Banerjee, with the blessings of thousands, crores of people. Many of them have made supreme sacrifices. Now this party is led by Mamata Banerjee with the generalship of Abhishek Banerjee. You will see a renewed TMC as the people want. We listen to the people's voice. Not to the voice of the BJP and the opposition, who are mired in their controversy, whose hands are not clean. We are for the people. This party is made by the people, blessed by the people. Party will look for the people. Look at what Mr. Banerjee is doing. He is trying to give justice even to the SSC victim. He is trying to give justice to the SSC victim. And what you are doing? You are trying to recruit people for 4 years and in the Agnivar scheme and then throw them out. What have you done in Tripura? 10,000 teachers have lost jobs.
Okay, DK hasn't spoken.
10,000 of them. You are talking about job losses. Look at the employment rate.
DK hasn't spoken.
It's abysmally low.
DK.
In the last 45 years,
Okay.
the lowest rate of employment.
Let DK. Final 30 seconds to DK.
Look at the economy.
Okay, please, spare a thought. DK has been sitting patiently. Let DK have a word. Let DK get in a word. Let DK squeeze in a word, please. Please, he's got 15 seconds. DK.
Okay,
DK.
Never mind, Niranjan.
Who's a big face?
Never mind, Niranjan. The guilty should be punished as you are exposing, but there should be equal application of law enforcement agencies. That is all. That is all I have to say. The law should be equally and fairly applied to everyone. But any corrupt should be punished in any party. That is all I have to say.
Okay, let's see where the story goes, because we believe the story is still alive. Forecast still on the move. reportedly with cash in them. ED is not confirming that, but we are hearing there's cash inside 4 cars somewhere in Kolkata. Watch out, the story is developing. Thank you for watching, and Arnab will be back soon on the debate. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Amity University has India's largest scholarship program, from which over 25,000 brilliant students have already benefited. Students with over 95% in Class 12 boards get 100% scholarship, and students with over 90% get 50% scholarship. Join brilliant, like-minded students who want to be successful. Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
In a fatal accident, a class 9 student lost his life and several were injured as a school bus and a speeding truck collided in Punjab's Hoshiarpur. Congress MP Dipender Singh Hooda given a suspension of business notice in Rajya Sabha over Centre's Agnipath recruitment scheme in the monsoon session of Parliament.
उसमें आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
Amid the tension between China and the United States with regards to Taiwan, China rejected a US bill to encourage more